Hey guys, Mr. Steckler here. So this is how you do the question quickfire activity and then how you do the questioning your questions activity. So you're going to go to padlet.com and you're going to log in and you're going to click login with Microsoft and type in your school accounts. And after logging in, you're going to come to this screen over here that says make a Padlet, and you're going to click make a Padlet and you're going to go to Canvas because we want to be able to scatter group and connect the content with these arrows. Once you've created the Padlet, it's going to ask you to name it. You can call it Question Quickfire. And we can hit Next. So in order to post, you're going to hit the plus sign over here, and it will give you a title and write something. The title is where you guys are going to write the answer to one of your questions. So our Question Quickfire is simply asking you to write a question about anything in this world that you're curious about, such as, why is the sky blue? Or, why does hair turn white? And the goal is to ask as many questions as you can, to literally quick fire these questions, have them come one after another, after another, after another, and go, 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 as many as you can. And by asking all of these questions, and by continuing to ask questions, you are going to get a lot of questions on your document that will kind of look like this, so that we have them all over the place. And then after doing the question quickfire, where you spend time asking as many questions as you can about anything in this world that you're curious about, something such as, why are gorillas so strong? Anything you're curious about. After you go ahead and you write all those questions, you are going to put them all on the screen, and we're going to have the ability to connect them to another question. So if I wanted to know information about why the sky is blue, I would do the part of the activity which is called the questioning my questions. So questioning my questions. This is an activity where you guys are going to use Google, and you are going to try and literally find the answers to the questions that you've asked. So as to why is the sky blue, if you were going to try and find the answer to this, you'd go over to Google and you type in, why is the sky blue? And your goal is to create a question about your question. So over here, it says, blue light is scattered in all directions by the tiny molecules of air in Earth's atmosphere. Blue is scattered much more than other colors because it travels as shorter, smaller waves. So this is why we see blue. So what my question about this is that I don't quite understand is I'm looking for something that doesn't make sense. To me, what doesn't make sense is, what does it mean that colors travel as shorter, smaller waves? So my next question that I'm going to put is, how does color travel? How does color travel? And now that I've asked this question, I'm going to go back to my Padlet. I'm going to ask this question, how does color travel? And I'm going to connect my initial question to the one that I had as a result of that question. And I'm going to look at the answer of how does color travel over here. And you may not find the answer on the top of Google. You may have to go into a couple of different websites, but the goal is to then try and find the answer. And if you find a question while finding the answer, you can ask another question to question your question. So over here, light is energy that moves in tiny particles known as photons. Well, I don't know what a photon is. So my next question is going to be, what is a photon? So I'm going to ask this question, and then I'm going to go back to Padlet. And because this question didn't stem from this question, but this one, I'm going to first write the question, what is a photon? And then I'm going to connect this to show that this question came from this question, which came from this question. And I'm going to try and find out what it is. It's a particle representing a quantum of light or other electromagnetic radiation. So I don't know what the word quantum means. So my next question is, what is a quantum of light? So I'm continuing to question my questions, and you may find yourself in a spot where like you got the answer to stuff that you didn't even know about. So I'm going to continue to connect these questions together, and I'm going to continue to research them. And a quantum of light is a particle of light which can disappear, giving its energy to an atomic or particle system. So I'd go and question my question again and look into this, and you're going to go really, really, really deep into these questions. And it's kind of like peeling the layers of an onion, where you start with the outer layer and you go one layer down, one layer down, and one layer down. And you may not have anticipated learning about quantums of light as to why the sky is blue, but what's actually happening is you are curiously inquiring about more information, and you originally, if someone just told you why the sky is blue, you may not remember that. But you're now definitely going to remember why the sky is blue, because not only do you know that the sky is blue, but you know that color travels, and that color travels in waves, and that it uses photons, which has to do with quantum of light. Like, you know all this information now about blue sky. So these questions are helping you learn about the original one, and then eventually, when you are satisfied, you know enough information, you can go back to the question before it, and then continue trying to find the answer. And then go back to the question before it, and continue trying to find the answer. And you're filling in almost like a puzzle, like the pieces of all the information that you need to know, and you're learning more than you would have needed to if a teacher told you what you're going to do. So by developing these questions and using these in class, you're going to be more curious, you're going to learn more information, and better, you're actually going to not need to memorize it because you're going to remember it based on your curiosity and your questions. So this method called questioning my questions is part of the question quickfire activity, where you literally ask questions about your questions after quickfiring, asking question after question after question. And this is the activity that you guys are going to do. And if you need to ask any questions about any more details, please send me an email.